Why would Trump want to put all this political capital into Alaska and then immediately into the Oval Office with all of these folks when the prospects of getting any of them to move was really low? And Russia has not shifted an inch. Neither has Zelensky, neither has Europe, except maybe they've gone a little further away. How do you see that whole dynamic?
I think for Trump, it's a domestic imperative. He was elected on bringing this war to an end. And domestically, I think he's got to be seen to be doing something here. I mean, we could say that the rush to get this summit in place is because of the collapse of the Ukrainian front line. That would be probably a big reason. And that's another thing that was established at Alaska, is that there's not going to be any ceasefire. That's a prelude to a negotiated settlement. It's going to be the other way around. And that's just now at least universally accepted. The quicker they get to that negotiated settlement, that they could freeze the conflict. In other words, the borders, the front lines can be frozen, because that's a big concern. How that ends up is going to define whether Russia can be seen to have won or seen to have been forced into a stalemate, or whatever, however they spin it. But it can't be, from a European and a NATO point of view, or EU point of view, it cannot be seen that Russia has viewed to have won or got everything that they want. And they might be able to spin it, even if they froze it today and gave them the 4 regions and, whatever, they could still spin it as that Russia wanted all of Ukraine. And so that's a win. Or they didn't get to the Dnieper River and we stopped them there. They didn't get Odessa. We've stopped them there. There's different ways that you can spin this. But the most important thing about this isn't to do with Trump, because now what Alaska reset the whole power dynamic, and that's that everyone's conforming to the Russian position.
Well, Trump definitely did, for sure, because he was going in with a deadline for an unconditional 30-day ceasefire or bone-crushing sanctions, and that obviously went completely away. He came out of Alaska literally repeating what the Russian side said, which you just mentioned, which was, no, negotiate first, ceasefire second, et cetera. So he completely went over to that verbally.
But whether they succeed or fail, that because Russia's participating in this meeting called by Trump, if it fails, Russia's not going to be blamed. They're making a calculated guess. They have to participate. And if they do, they've been consistent the whole way. So if anything goes wrong, it's not going to be because Russia's changed its position or been flippant or whatever. But Trump has been very erratic. The Europeans have been very erratic. So the international community would more likely, the suspicion or the blame might go on them or Zelensky and not Russia. So that's what's really important about the power shift, is that who would be blamed if it fails.